Look at how bad this is. Oil everywhere. Stay tuned. What's happening, fam? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. So today what I'm going to be doing is replacing my crankcase ventilation filter or breather. And some of you who have diesels, obviously diesels are a new platform to me and to my house. I've had this truck about, I would say, going on a month and a half. And what I can tell from the work that I did on this truck so far and the maintenance is that the previous owner did not take care of this truck at all. And this is a really nice truck, but this is what happens. The CCV filter, they recommend it to be changed every 25,000 miles or every 2 years, whichever ones comes first. Now, depending on the type of lifestyle that you live and driving conditions, you might have to replace it faster. Now, usually a lot of people don't know about this filter because they call it a CCV or crankcase ventilation filter because it's literally directly under the crankcase right here where you see the 6.7 liter turbo diesel Cummings. Okay? A lot of people don't know about it. I definitely didn't know about it, but as you start digging into these trucks, you'll notice that they have so many more components than just, like, for instance, like my Ram1500. My Ram1500 was way more simple than this thing, I'll tell you that much. And what happens is later on in the mileage of the vehicle, you're gonna see something come on your dash saying perform service, and you'll be like, what the fudge does that mean? Or you could possibly get a code which and the code will reference, like when you put your scan tool on it, it'll reference the crankcase ventilation filter or breather. Well, I usually have a nice step stool, but it definitely won't work in this installation, so I had to break out my ladder because the truck is so damn high. But here is the CCV filter right here. If you notice, it's like a pretty much almost like a one-piece construction. Make sure you have, once you get it, you have your gaskets. And guys, you can get this bad boy literally on Amazon. I'll put some up on the side. I think from Mopar it's like $170 or something crazy like that. Guys, this part number, literally this right here, it's from a company called Galaxy, okay? And it's literally for the 07 to 2022 Ram 2500, 3500, 6.7 liter Cummings Diesel, okay? My part number, if you look it up on Mopar.com, it's 6800 2433 AC. This is a perfect replacement for that, and it's like $27. This is crazy to pay an extra $150. And now, also, imagine you have to have the dealer install it. You're looking at another $50 to $100. This is wild. So guys, you're better off doing this yourself. Tools that you're possibly gonna need, you're definitely gonna need an 8mm socket, most likely a precision pick, maybe some pliers, because my stuff had there's like stuff to hold down the wires and stuff on the studs, so you're probably gonna need some pliers. But just wanted to share some information with you real quick. You know what I mean? Why is this important? Why is it important to replace and so forth? Guys, there's so much information you could actually find on the internet for this. But this is actually an important, very important piece, because what this does, it cleans blow-by gases or escape gases, and it helps remove contaminants like dust and dirt that will be inevitably drawn into your crankcase ventilation system. You definitely don't want that. Definitely don't want that. Symptoms of a clogged crankcase filter. See the white media in here? I guarantee just from looking at this the engine bay on the crankcase. So first things first, you have to take off the actual cover. Okay, this is where you gotta take a dipstick out of the hole right here. There's 4 8mm bolts that you gotta take off. Now let me just climb up this ladder real quick. Just wanna show you something. Look at all the freaking dirt. I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact this thing has not been changed. So we're definitely in for a nice little ride today. Now, crazy enough, a couple signs that you might notice if your CCV is clogged up, or it's really clogged up, you might get some oil back into your air filter system. You know what I mean? But it would have to be at a really, really bad level. You know what I'm saying? You could possibly, as I said before, you could possibly get a check engine light, okay, where you'll see some type of crankcase restriction code when you plug it into your scanner. You know what I'm saying? And now, guys, what causes a clogged CCV filter? If you're not good on your oil changes and the oil becomes thick and sludgy, okay, and it'll definitely clog up the filter. Obviously, I said before, dirt, debris, carbon deposits. If you're running a truck in super cold temperatures and there's a lot of condensation, all of that stuff can definitely affect the CCV filter. Okay, so hey, let's you know, for $27, let's say $30, that's with tax. Yo, you can't beat it. Can't beat Amazon. So let's take this off real quick. Obviously, you have some 8mm bolts over here. I would say about 8 of them to take off around this to take off the crankcase. So let's get this done. All right, guys, so the CCV is out. Look how bad it is. Oil everywhere. And I mean, when in here, in this hole right here that goes into the crankcase itself, the breather element in there is so saturated with oil, you can't see it, but it's at a really bad level. At a really bad level. Everything in here is soaking wet and black. Like, look, the oil is literally dripping. Obviously, you could see that. I didn't do that. I literally took it out and put it right on the ground. But that's how freaking crazy this shit is. It's awful. And you could feel how laden it is with oil. This thing is heavy. It's actually heavy compared to the weight of the other ones. Yeah, this thing feels like a paperweight compared to this thing. So let's pop this in real quick, guys. Just take a little bit of oil, just lube up around the gaskets. And also, a couple things to note. Okay, let me show you. This bolt here towards the back, okay? And the two directly in the back, those are studs. See it? So just remember where they go. And you know, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get out depending on the tools. What I had to do was I actually had to get my small ratchet just to fit in there because the plastic trim is protruding. So because it has a stud, you need a slightly longer socket. So it was an 8 socket. This worked, you know what I mean? But still, once you loosen it a little bit, you could actually unscrew it with your fingers. It's not really that big of a deal. But look, I just want to show you this. Look how bad, look at the condition in here, how nasty and dirty and dusty it is. Now guys, also to note, see this white gasket around here? Just go around and make sure the gasket is intact all the way around. Mine looks fine. So I'm just gonna clean up the interior in here, clean up around it, and install the new one real quick. Oh, one more thing. Thank God for this ladder right here. This sensor, I unplugged it, okay? This red clip, you gotta take your precision pick and pry it. See right, this red clip right here? Pry it to the left to loosen the lock so you can take it out. But honestly, I don't think I actually needed it to, because, let me click that back in there. Yeah, I don't think I really need it. Actually, yeah, I did need to. I needed to because this wire over here is blocking where the stud is in the back. That's the reason why I took it out in the first place. So that's really it, food for thought, okay? So just make sure, check your gasket. This pink clip right here, make sure you're unlocking it before you take it out, and that's it. So let's put everything back in. All right, guys, the install is complete. What I was doing a little bit of extra stuff. Obviously, don't forget the initial plate that you took off. What I was doing, I was putting WD-40 in the brackets that these bolts thread into, just making sure everything was secure. Don't forget to replace your oil dipstick, your oil cap. When this plate comes off, you have to take the dipstick off, okay? While you're working on the car, you could put the dipstick back. I knew I was working in decent conditions where there was no dust or wind or anything like that, so I really wasn't worried about it. And obviously, you got to take your oil cap off before you actually take the cover off. You know what I'm saying? Again, guys, once you finish everything, there are no torque specs to this, just to let you know. I looked online on the forums, there's no torque specs, so I just tightened it down to when my ratcheting tool stopped. And it's not that tight. Now, I just want to go show you something real quick. I don't have the error light because, remember, all of this stuff is computerized. But you have to be able to go into your vehicle and check it yourself because, as I said, this guy did not take the best care of this car. I don't know what he used to do with it, but you could see from the filter I took out, I only have 36,000 miles. So obviously that CCV was never changed. You know what I mean? So if you did have that error that I told you before, perform service light that comes on the dash, what you do is you turn on the ignition, okay? Once you turn the ignition on, you step on the brake twice, 1, 2, all the way down, press the accelerator all the way down and let it bring it back up twice in 10 seconds. And you see the check engine light is flashing right there? And then shut it off. Now, once you restart the car, you wouldn't have a service light. I'll actually put the text on the side so at least you guys could see the reset procedures for it. And that's really it. So anyway, guys, definitely like, subscribe, comment. I'll link the CCV in the description. It was an exact perfect fit and for $27. And it literally took me 10 minutes, honestly. It's the filming and the cleaning and stuff that took me about, I'm out here like about a half hour. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, from start to finish, if you just doing what you got to do, it's like about 15 minutes tops. But I'm telling you, it's very, very easy to do. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take it easy.